We are live.
Yeah.
Live with our man Kev.
Going
Live
on,
with
boys?
J-Dax. Live with your boy Illiterate.
I didn't know there was going to be dancing involved.
Yeah.
Would have worn different pants.
I don't know
All
what.
right, so let's break this shit down today. So, J-Dax,
Yeah.
any surprises from day one?
Yeah, I mean there was a couple. I think that and I'm updating. I'm following the forum, so if y'all are going to jump in here, that we don't have any viewers yet, stay tuned to the live thread. We're waiting on single pairings. I think one of the biggest surprises of the day was the format last night that I thought favored us the most. We got drunk 5-1. I thought I thought the way that Captain McLovin and Assistant Captain Mike G set the pairings up, where they did a whole lot of balance. I thought that format favored us for some reason. And even if you look at my match odds, you can sort of see how I thought that, and it really didn't. What didn't surprise me was that Zuki made putts.
Yeah,
they always make putts.
That's what they do.
That's their bag. That's their game. That's what they do. And we just didn't do it. And so I'm not. Yeah, that was some of the biggest. I think the biggest surprise there. It would have been really easy for us to fold here, right? You're down 5. Like last year, Kevin, y'all jumped them.
Mm-hmm.
And you had a chance there to really make some hay, and the second 2 stanzas of that day didn't go that well, but they get jumped, and they sort of call back. I mean, so the afternoon, those second 9 matches ended up all square at 3 apiece, and that's why we sit at 8-4 right now.
Yeah.
Well, they've got that momentum going into tomorrow too.
Yeah.
And honestly, the shamble doesn't surprise me as much, just because you throw in the fact of the weather, and then you've got your shiny new equipment, seeing the course. I mean, that's overwhelming anyway, but that weather, I think, probably threw a wrench into it. So I'm sure that played a little bit of a part in it. But yeah, I mean, those boys bouncing back, that's huge. They got the momentum now, and they showed perseverance.
The other thing that really sort of, if you look at sort of the way that's broke down, so I mean, the one match that we won in the morning session was the one that I
down 2 after 3.
Yeah, they were down. Yeah, they were down 2 after 3, and in the other matches, we got jumped. Like Jordan and them got jumped by Matt and Steve. Like absolutely jumped.
They were like 5 under after 6 holes.
Yeah,
that's rough.
Yeah,
you can't compete with that.
You can't do anything with that. There was some scoring confusion. So matches 1, 2, and 6 went off of 1, right? And matches 3, 4, and 5, they started on the back. So they played best ball for a couple of holes, and then they switched formats. And so it became a little bit confusion. Hats off to Adam, or slight draw, or it's opening day, whatever he's going by right now. He was able to figure that out and get the Google sheet scoring thing correct. But look, I really want to know how No Shanks and Clark Griswold scored, but I have no idea. In fact, the only thing that I do know is that
What's up, Josh?
They made birdie on the 5th hole. Okay, both those teams made birdie. Tony Tuan and D-Nev, No Shanks and Clark. They all made birdie on 5. It's the only score that we got.
Yeah.
No idea. And that was the one that I wanted to see, because I wanted to see how the guy, No Shanks, who got fit into musclebacks. We talked about that bold selection last night, the musclebacks. I wanted to see how they scored, and I didn't get any of that. So that was also surprising.
You know what didn't surprise me today?
What?
Was Jason Finley going 2-0?
No.
No,
That's what Jason Finley does.
that's just Finley doing Finley things. I mean, it's just a regular Wednesday to him. Okay, like that's it. I mean, okay, I'm gonna go out there. We're gonna get this going, and I'm gonna win two. I'm gonna win 2 matches.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something that's surprising me?
What?
That out of everything that's gone on today and yesterday and this whole week, JB Cobb III's most excited about the nest and all the pictures that he's posted.
I would pay good money to get be a fly on the wall with JB Cobb at the nest.
Oh, it would be absolutely phenomenal.
I'm updating the thread, and there's cougar pictures all over. It's great.
So yeah, I mean that doesn't surprise you. Yeah, I mean so they came out and then that second time you could tell in the video that the assistant cat Mike G posted, they thought they had a really good shot, and they did on a couple of these matches. At one point it was 7-5. And then all of a sudden, that the Big Sky Sizzle pairing, which had been so great for us, the last 3 holes of that second match, they just sort of started leaking oil, and they ended up losing 2 up there.
Speaking of JB Cobb, he is live with us.
All right, awesome, JB. Wait,
but I mean, how about Big Sky?
Yeah, JB Cobb says death taxes in Finley, no doubt. Death taxes in Finley.
But how about Big Sky and Jay Sizzle coming back? I mean, they went birdie that first 9 to close that out. That's pretty big.
Right, and it's a totally different story if they don't do that, right? Totally different story.
And I love that Luke and Lex pairing too. I thought that was a genius one.
Dude, where's the dude? Did JB Cobb go on a meme like generator, and just every pick of cougars that he can find, and now he's just put it in this thread, and I don't even know what's going on with the. I mean, I guess Sizzle's the new Cobra. People are acting like Sizzle's going to bring this Cobra-esque feel. We'll get to the nest in a second. But no, I was not surprised that the Zoo Crew putted well. No, there wasn't a whole lot of surprising today, except for how that shamble formed. Because the year before, if you remember, Kevin them jumped them.
Yeah.
And I mean, I even sent J-Lou a text message this morning when I found out that there was no alternate shot format in this year's Grandaddy, which is a big advantage for the Zoo Crew, because we talked about combined cap of the Zoo Crew 7.2, combined cap of our team 11, right? Mm-hmm. That advantage would have manifested itself big time in alternate shot. And when they didn't have alternate shot, I sent J-Lou a text this morning and said, I think we might win. I was wrong. I'm not saying that we can't. We'll get to that in a second, but dude, I thought we would be like talking about 7-5 us. Instead,
it was definitely possible, especially when with the alt shot eliminated. Kev, any final thoughts for day one?
That is correct.
No, I think with that weather, that it doesn't surprise me that the Zoo Crew got out to a hot start. I mean, those guys have played there; they've got the experience. They've had some of their equipment in their bags for a while. Our guys come in, you started fresh. I mean, you started at a disadvantage from the get-go, but they turned it around, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm really, that was surprising to me that they were able to turn it around like that. So I'm pretty proud of them. I think that was awesome. They did great on that.
So we gotta hope that they can bring that into day 2. So speaking of day 2, any advice for the team going into day 2? And I would like to note that Dax's team, they made it to day 2, but it didn't matter. So, Kev, I'm gonna, just go straight to you on this one for advice for the team on day 2.
Poor Dax. Yeah, I mean, my advice into day 2 is the same as I've given any advice the whole time. Is, I mean, the competition part, we all want to win, but just go out and soak it up, especially if they're gonna have nicer weather tomorrow. I mean, enjoy the views, enjoy the time, enjoy not suffering in the cold and the rain. Just play your game. Don't pressure yourself. Just go out, play. I mean, everybody's playing the same field. We're all hitting the same balls around. Just go play. That's all you got to do. Just have fun. That's the biggest thing. I can tell you, anytime I talk to somebody about the Grandaddy, when I talk to them, I say I had the chance to play with the Zoo Crew from Callaway, not I got to play against the Zoo Crew. So the competition part at the end of the day, you're not going to think about. It's going to be about the experience, but just go have fun and play your game. That's all you can do.
Dax, anything you would add to that?
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm going to add something, even though, our experience is a little bit different. I mean, Kevin, they still had a chance. They were down 11-7. We were already done. It was 16-2.
Speaking of drubbed.
Yeah, we got totally boat race. But Kev's absolutely right. There's a couple things. Tomorrow's weather is going to be a little bit better. So I'm going to talk about some of my advice for the competition and then maybe something outside of that. But the key thing is that there's nowhere to hide on singles day. Like whether or not you don't have a partner, you're not playing shamble. If you can't get off the tee, you don't have someone hitting the drive for you. You're going to have to play your ball. You have to play it in, and they're not giving you any quarter. I promise you that. Okay, and the 4-footers, like I said last night, are not conceded. Well, I mean, of course, I played Finley, so maybe there's other people that would be more friendly. Just worry about what you can do, right? Keep the ball in front of you. Try to win your match. Try to be your partner's calm, right? And if both of y'all are doing that, you maybe you'll figure out a way. I can't wait to see how they're going to pair this out, because there's probably a certain way that they're going to have to go about it because they're down so much. But just so my advice, that's the competition advice. Look, you've got new clubs. Y'all got hot at the end of the day. Try to keep that momentum going. I mean, this is maybe their game plan, like we talked about on the pre-show, is to try to drink these guys underneath the table tonight, sort of like what Kev did at the Morgan Cup that he won. But this probably is the last time you're going to get to do this, like get to play there, with those people, with that team. So regardless of the outcome, take a moment to soak it all in, man, because this is it, right? Many of these guys have won contests back in like May, March, right? Their entire year is culminated into this moment. It's probably not going down exactly how they thought the competition portion of it would go down, but they need to remember that the Grandaddy transcends the competition. It's not about the competition. It has a competition component. And if you get too wrapped up in the competition, take a moment to soak it all in. I think that's the one thing that if I had to have it back, well, I mean, of course, getting beat down like by Finley, like I stole something from him, probably hurt this. But I wish I would have taken more moments. No, we're not.
Vortex, you can go back and watch it.
You can go back and watch it. I think there's more. I think that you need to remember to take a moment for yourself and just soak it all in, even with your member host. If you're playing Finley tomorrow, McLovin, you're going to get to play with the baddest dude of all time, okay? You're going to get to play with Jason Finley and Al. Soak it in, brother. I mean, that's all I have to say. Take a moment. Take some time for yourself. I know that you're trying to update the form. We didn't have an assistant captain to help us do that, by the way. So we're trying to get pictures. We're trying to bring everyone along for the ride. I wish I would just take them just a second more to sort of soak it all in, because you may not ever go back.
Yeah, whoever's playing Newbark, make sure to point out the hazards in front of and behind the greens so that he hits into them.
Newbark. He's got the 9-wood and 11-wood in the bag. He's gold.
I like his bag, man. I like his bag.
All right, well, let's move on. Can Team THP make a comeback? Dax, we'll kick it over to you to start this.
Yeah. I mean, they need 7.5. So, okay, let's just break the math down. Okay, there's 12 points available tomorrow. They have 4. Okay, they need 12.5 to win the belt. Okay, so what do we need? We need Need 7 and a hook. Is that what we need?
7 and a hook.
Okay.
No, 8 and a hook. We got to get to 12 and a half.
We have 4. We need 8.5 points.
Yeah.
Okay, out of 12 matches. Okay. And well, actually, out of 11, because I don't think Finley's losing. So that was a joke. Y'all are supposed to laugh. Come on, Kevin. I'm trying to be funny.
Darth Finley. Death taxes in Finley.
Death taxes in Finley. I'm going to get to that question. Oh yeah, what do I think about him getting a next round? I mean, if his swing is steeper than mine, then it's probably great because they are sexy. They're sexy. Those X grinds are sexy. The reason I grabbed it, and then Roger Cleveland told me I would have taken that X grind if Roger Cleveland wouldn't have been there, and probably would have shit the bed with it. You know, it wasn't Roger Cleveland's fault that I couldn't chip. Okay. He gave me the right wedges. No, but can they get it? They need 12 and a half. Yeah, we need 8 and a hook. Yeah, they can. The weird thing is, we should have covered this on the surprises portion. There wasn't a single match halved.
No.
Yeah.
That's true.
No one grinded out a half at the end. There was none of that happening. They can't grind out halves and get 8.5 points out of 12 matches tomorrow. They're going to have to win matches. So, yes, technically, yeah, it is a very tall order, but they do have the momentum and they do have a puncher's chance because this may be one of the better lineups that Team THP's ever rolled in with. I mean, they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7, 8 or better handicapped. Now we need 8.5 points, right? We have 7 single-digit handicaps, and we're gonna get to my pairing thoughts later. Dude, you could get hot, but I think that what I would personally do, and I'll go ahead and tell you now before we get to the pairings, I don't know if we're gonna get them yet. I would send all those heavy hitters out early, right away, because you're down so much. You have to win points. You have to get points. It's just like a Ryder Cup. We need flags on the board, people. Boom, boom, boom. You get some momentum, and those guys that are going late saying, "Oh shit, we may have a chance at this." Right now, there was one year the Americans in the Ryder Cup in Medina that they were
meltdown in Medina.
More amount. The Europeans came back. It's not out of the realm of possibility. It's going to be very difficult, though. Kev, what do you think?
Yeah, I think if there's ever a team to do it, it's this one. I mean, when you look at those low handicaps, I mean, the nice thing about those low handicaps, usually it doesn't matter where they're playing, what they're playing with, they're going to shoot a good, solid score. The flip side of that, Zoo Crew also has some low handicaps with some experience. So it's a challenge, but I think it's doable. I like that we've got these low handicaps to come in and to battle. And I do like that idea of sending them out first. You've got the rookies from both sides. The nice thing about the rookies on our side, Tomcat, he's played in a THP.
Tomcat played a Morgan Cup.
Yeah.
So this is not going to be anything, new.
He's a grizzled veteran,
right?
Yeah. So I mean, some of these guys have experience. I think they can do it. It's going to be interesting to see what McLovin comes up with and might come up with for pairings. But I think it's doable, especially if they drink them under the table at night.
Right. Absolutely.
But yeah, having those low handicaps, that's a huge thing. We haven't seen a team THP with that kind of firepower that you can come out of the gates with or plug in there anywhere.
I mean, I want to take a moment to thank the Cult of Five that's watching. I mean, y'all are awesome. And we got some comments.
We got some new Cult of Five members tonight.
Right. I love it.
And I love that OU Magic left us a comment before we even got started.
Oh yeah. He was just apologizing. His daughter had a thing. He said he was going to watch it later, but he was apologizing that he wasn't going to be here for us tonight. So we have a new Cult of Five. That's awesome. Mike, are you gonna? What do you think about the comeback?
I mean, is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? No. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm the bearer of bad news, but I mean, it's going to take, I think running out the low caps out there first, trying to get points on the board and getting people to believe like, hey, we got a chance. We can make this happen. And it's going to take those putters getting hot. tomorrow.
Mhm.
Those newly fitted putters, and you just got to go out there. I think the biggest thing is just go out there and relax and just play. Like I talked to Jordan earlier today, and he was saying he was blocking it, and I was like, man, just swing the club, And he's like, the weather was bad. I was like, the weather's going to be good tomorrow. Let's go out there and swing the club. So
Right.
go out there, swing the club. The ball's going to go where it's going to go. Find it, hit it again, put it in the hole, and throw some points on the board. See what happens.
I mean, I think that I'll just go. There's a question here. It's probably what is our biggest surprise today? Tomcat playing great or Big Sky Irish winning the horse race? Big Sky Irish played his ass off today.
Yeah,
So that was not a surprise.
He's a gamer.
Yeah. In fact, I would send him out first. Like he seems like he's the one that is playing the best of everybody. He probably needs to go out first. To get a point on the board. If you get a point on the board, he comes out. I mean, my fear would be they're going to do the same thing. They're going to try to end this early, and then you're going to see like a Big Sky Irish, Tony Toulon, or Luke. Luke goes out first or something against him, and then it's a slugfest where they put strength on strength. So we'll see how these pairings are done. Like I don't know how it was done with UKEV, but in our situation, it didn't. I mean, I knew who I was playing. Right? It was I was going to play Finley, so I didn't really pay attention to how the captain put him.
How did that work out, by the way?
It didn't get
well. I think you guys did your pairings at 8:06 that night, right?
Yeah.
So we're right about that time.
It should be coming out here soon. I would say that it's imminent. So, who's your MVP so far?
I mean, I have to go with I'll go Big Sky Irish. He won the horse race and he played his ass off today. I'll go with him. Although Sizzle has been very
Cobra-esque.
He a card accident. He got left. Somehow last night. So I don't know. Look, I love Sizzle. I cannot wait to see who he plays and how he plays tomorrow. Maybe he can still come up with it. He played great today too. But that would be my pick so far.
Kev?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm looking at the scoring sheet and just I didn't get to follow along live today much at all, but I did catch up tonight. I mean, Big Sky's a good one for them to turn that first match around. That's tough when you're down right away and you go. I think birdied the last 4 holes on that first match. I'm going to go back to Tomcat. I mean, higher handicap, but he's been working his tail off, and they win that second match 2-1. Him and Z Beekner. I mean, it's tough to say right now. There's not a huge standout, but I think tomorrow can tell us a little bit more. But I mean, there were some impressive things, some comebacks, and there are some options out there.
Yeah.
Have you won your singles match? Right?
Yeah, I did.
You did. Yep. You were down 2 early, and then you came back.
Yeah.
So what advice? I mean, I know that we're going off script, but you didn't bring that up in the advice with the team.
How did you play in it after being down 2 early?
You just play your game. Don't get frustrated. Don't start pressing. Because that's the last thing I wanted to do was I got smacked in the face after the second hole. I'm like, what in the hell are you doing? And I just kept playing my game. Don't get – and I've given this advice too. Don't get carried away with, trying to update the form crazy amounts. Stay focused on the moment. But just play your game. It'll come around. You may have somebody like I was partnered with Roger, and Ethan came out and he was a buzzsaw, and there's nothing you can do about it. But Roger kept playing his game, and he started coming back a little bit at the end. So just play your game. Don't get frustrated. Don't try pushing it and doing something stupid, and you'll be fine. That's all you can do.
Yeah, match play's a big momentum. It's such a momentum thing too. Because I mean, you like you say, you can go from being 2 down to suddenly, 5 holes later you're 2 up. You just never know. The swings in match play can be crazy.
Oh yeah, like in my match, Jeff and I, we kept going back and forth the whole match. he got up too early. I came back within the next 2 holes, and then it was back and forth the whole time.
Yeah.
And neither one of us got our emotions up high or got too carried away. We just kept playing our games, and it was a good one.
I mean, look, I had to ask him. I mean, we brought him on specifically. A, Chef couldn't be here tonight. B, I mean, how much insight am I going to provide him today? Honestly. So we were trying to bring the best content we could bring to the Cult of Five. And so I was like, Kev, look, you know, A, your team made it to day 2 with a chance, and you won your singles match. We're going to need your insight.
You bet. And Josh, winning that singles match feels fantastic. Although Newbar still owes me a check for $7, one of those big checks. So he still owes me that.
Oh, so maybe their game plan is to get them housed.
Hey, hang on. I got to give my MVP.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Go
But
ahead.
my MVP in the thread right now is JB Cobb with all these pictures. But in all seriousness, the team MVP, I told y'all last night, Jordan, you know, and I'm still going to roll with it. He split his matches today. He updated the forum. He actually posted scores. I mean, he posted pictures. I love it.
You know what, Clark? If you want to be in the running for MVP, let's get some scores to like actual, hey,
3.
You know, hey, we made a 4 on this hole. They made a 5. We are 1 up. That's, I mean,
We made a snowman.
Right. It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
No, but that's a great point, Mike. Something we didn't talk about is the updating on the thread. And I know today was tough. I mean, with that kind of weather, I know from experience, unfortunately, it's a tall task to keep updated while trying to, especially if they're playing. Did I see they're playing cart path only?
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, that's tough, man.
That's tough to update. I'm not dogging on you, Clark. I'm just the only person that wasn't able to provide an actual number.
You're welcome, Cobb.
I don't know. I think Finley has lost
in singles.
I think he may have once.
Yeah, I think he lost to Jeremy. I think that didn't JD Docs beat him?
I can't remember who it was. I think he did lose once in singles. I beat him in the team part. Just saying. But well, in 9 holes. I jabbed him on the second 9 and he stuck it to me. So
I'll tell you what, you know who knows the MVP of the Cult of 6 right now? They have 6. JB Cobb the third. I mean, if you would have brought your game here, if you would have brought that to Nashville, I may have a whole bag of clubs right now. Okay, don't. But
JD Talks beat him.
Yeah, Jeremy did beat him. I knew that. I knew my family history. Let's talk Nest.
Dax, tell us about the clown.
I mean, so I wasn't gonna go, because in this point of my journey, the only thing left for me to do was to try to play Finley as well as possible, right? I mean, so I was about to stay on the bus. There was going to be the only people on the bus was Finley, JB, and me. And Luke came back into the bus and made me come out, made me go into the nest with them. And I did. And there's drinks are flowing. Cobra got involved with was dancing between. I mean, I swear to you, these women had like hip replacements. Like, I don't know what was going on. There was a lot of Fireball drank that night for some reason. That was like the drink of choice that night. There was a lot of shots of Fireball. There was a lot of beer. We didn't have a re-nester, but we had someone that just Blake, if you're out there, brother, just had a really difficult time. But somehow passed out in the lobby. I carried him, helped him carry back to his room. And then, that's what you don't do. You don't stand next to Luke at the bar. And he went out the next day and grinded out a half a point. Like, we went from do we need to call an ambulance for alcohol poisoning to him waking up the next day and playing his ass off? So yeah, it's an experience. I think that if you're ever in Grandaddy, you have to go. But my advice would be on the first Uber out and pull the slip.
Kev, what was your best experience like?
So I only had one scary point of my trip, and that was when we got into the nest. We're standing there, and I'm standing beside Luke, and 10 o'clock, Luke is ready and roaring to go, and he finds out it's my birthday, and the look on that guy's face, dude, it scared me. It was like like scary.
Is that the gift that's floating around?
Like he had this twinkle in his eye. He had this smirk. Dude, it scared me. So that was the only scary part. But I did do the first Uber out. I had a couple of drinks, and then Luke got me a shot, and then I knew what his intentions were, so I went and hid behind the catalyst, Clayton, and he was my bodyguard. And I kind of sat back and watched the action unfold out on the dance floor, and got some laughs, and then we headed back to the
Nate
hotel.
did with our group. Nate sort of. Hold on. We have some comments. Hold on. Let's get. I'm not sure if I could play Sunday after going out and hitting it so hard Saturday. Okay, now the THP championship.
Go to Vortex's comment real quick. That's great.
Vortex says, I've been to the nest for dinner a couple times, and the menu's top notch. The bar is tough to explain. I mean,
I can explain the bar. Okay, so
did either of you eat anything at the nest?
No.
So you can't comment on Vortex and the dinner.
I can't comment on the food. What I will say this is that the speech that I got from Luke when he realized I didn't want to go, and he's like, where he just said, Dad, where else at home are you going to be able to meet a clown and dance with your grandma?
So when you walk into the nest,
yeah.
You know the music video Thriller?
Yeah.
How the zombies are walking and they turn their heads real quick to look at you so there's these younger guys that come in and they all look like zombies and they snap their heads around to check out the fresh meat. It's kind of what it was like. Like there's literally like this 85-year-old guy up playing keyboard singing Timber. And it's a scene, man.
And the guy takes requests too, which is great.
Yeah.
In fact, somebody I'm wearing this is Travis Matt. This was part of our scripting. Some girl from the nest has Nate's polo. We don't know how that happened. She took it off of. Left with it. So yeah, there's a lot of things that could happen tonight. I think that this is probably the right move though. Like get them really trashed, really hungover, and then go out there and let's win some points tomorrow. So yeah, all about the nest.
Go with my strategy of where I at a different event went out with the other team, got them trashed while I just sat there drinking straight Coke, and they thought I was drinking mixed drinks all with them the whole night. It had some hangover issues.
Was that 16? What year was that?
That was 16. Yep.
Yeah,
well, I'm hoping I get to see the nest one day because it sounds like and if I go, I promise I'll try the food so that I can report back to Vortex if he's full of shit or not.
Well, they went last night too.
Double nest.
They double nested.
Oh God. Setting a new standard.
We still do not have parents. So the next thing on our list is the single parents thought. So I guess we don't have parents yet. Which is odd. Last night
they were throwing down. They were throwing down pretty hard. So
they're drinking heavily. And they haven't even got to the nest. You have to remember what is it there? Well, it's only 8:30. It's only 8:30 there.
Yeah. It's gonna be rough.
This is the longest day / night of the Grandaddy. I literally woke up and was dehydrated to the point where my eyes were red. I haven't had that happen since I was in college. That's how hard I felt like a mule had kicked me in the head. And I hope some of these guys that are going to go out tonight, I hope their shit's packed. Because if it's not packed, they're not going to pack when they get home from the nest. They're gonna pass out in the same shit that they have on, just like I did. And then you wake up the next morning like you don't want to be. They played California Love. The keyboard guy played California Love, and the place went nuts.
He's seriously like 85 years old. It's awesome.
Yeah. And there's a clown. The clown doesn't talk. I mean, it's just surreal. Yeah, the food is very, very good. Okay, that's fine. I mean, if I ever get to go back, I'll absolutely order the wings or whatever. You know.
Yeah. What do you recommend? Vortex question.
Yeah, type that in for us. But yeah, it's a surreal experience. But I'm glad I did it because it's the one thing that we when we talk about it, it's sort of the 19th hole of the Grandaddy, right? I mean,
yeah.
How many zoo crew go to the nest? In my only Finley and Harry didn't go. That was it.
I think that's the same for us. Of course, Finley was just about dying that night. So
but I don't think that if he was 100%, he still he wouldn't have gone because he didn't go with us.
No. And if you've been there that many times, I don't blame him for not going either.
Okay, there's an answer. Yeah, all but Finley. So y'all probably had that same mix. So about everyone else.
Yeah.
In fact, our year
ribeye. So the nest is known for its high quality steak.
Our year, Amanda Balionis went with us to the nest too.
Oh, nice.
Amanda Balionis went.
Yeah, she was with the zoo crew that year covering it because that was when she was doing a lot of Callaway's media stuff, and she was at our Grandaddy event the entire time, and went to the nest. Yeah, that was super nice, by the way, super nice.
That was a cool feature.
Yeah. We got beat, but I got to hang out with Amanda Balionis, so
that's not a terrible consolation prize.
It is not. So hold on, what are we? So I mean, we may not get it. Like this thread has been stuck on 130 pages for a while. We have not gotten an update in a while. This is a little disheartening because last night we got them 20 minutes into this. The parents were up. How would you pair it, Kev?
I mean, I like your idea. We're coming. We have to do a comeback. We need to start out strong. I like the idea of throwing out the low handicappers, throw out your biggest cannons, and then I mean even the higher caps at the end. I like that because when you're putting high cap against high cap, really anything can happen there. So I like the idea of throwing out your big guns first and letting them go to battle, get you some points right out there.
I can't wait to see the Lexi Tomcat match. If that's what goes down, yeah. Like if they throw her out at the end, that could be great.
You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see a McLovin and Finley match and go out first. I'd like them to lead off. I know that's not tradition, but I'd like to see them lead off.
It's not. How did I go out? So Finley. If you'll notice, Finley never plays that course out of order. Okay, so he went out today. He started on one. I'll say a couple things. For those of you that may not know, they have two courses there: the Clive and the Die. The Die is the harder of the two courses, I thought, by far. The Clive has better views. Like that, some of my favorite, like sort of visual holes are on the Clive, but I think the Die course is a little bit harder. I would go with that.
What you tell the ladies, Cobb?
It's well aged.
We talked about this last night, Kev. The problem with sort of doing it like that, I think, and maybe what's going to give them a little bit of pause is the bottom third of our lineups combined cap is 23. Okay, so it ranges from 16 to 33. If you look at the bottom third of theirs, it goes from 9. There's 2 11s and a 20. Like, so, like Mike and I would be the 11th lowest cap on the Zucker.
Yeah.
We are dogged in all of those matches, big time. And I kind of want to see what Finley's going to do. Is he going to just? He's probably going to go for the jugular.
I just pulled it up on the phone, and it looks like they're like dead square in the middle of dinner having margaritas. I mean, there's a lot of pictures that just got posted, so I don't know when pairings are going to come.
I think it could be cool. You send out the big guys; they get some points, and then I mean, we've got our high caps, which are higher caps than theirs, of course, and you just pop them to death. So they, that back end of the Zoo Crew team,
get a Papa-Palooza going.
That back end of the Zoo Crew team's going to have some pressure on them because they're getting popped to death. And I mean, our guys don't have as much pressure because they're high caps and they just have to play their game and pop them to death.
Yeah, I mean, especially if our heavy hitters can go out and get some, like I said, if they can get some points early, then it could get real interesting real quick because the top 2/3 of both of these lineups are about even. It's the real difference is not in the top 2/3. Like that strength on strength, there can be some really interesting matches with this situation. We have a chance. I'm going to talk myself into us winning. Do they flip a coin and choose first? Well, okay. In my year,
paper, rock, scissors, Cobb.
I mean, historically, each captain would take a turn. I think my year it didn't really matter because the actual sort of event was. I mean, for the belt, the competition portion was over, so we were just sort of told who we were going to play, and that was already sort of pre-decided between the two captains. But in a gamesmanship situation, yeah, okay. Josh is reminding me. Yeah, JB and Harry chose first. Okay, yeah, okay, and then our cap matched. Let's see, 100% index again. Yeah. So I mean, they're going to go out there. It's 100% index. That captain's match, the one match that we do know about, Finley's going to be laying 1 to McLovin.
It's a tough one.
That is a tough.
Yeah, when you're almost playing straight up against Finley at the house Finley built, that's tough, man.
I don't.
The house that Finley built.
I mean, he laid 5 to me like it was nothing. Like I'd love to see that match go deep. I think
we're still swimming in Fireball from the night before.
Yeah, McLovin played good today. They didn't play bad. They ran into a buzzsaw.
Yeah. I love seeing that his short game came around, showed up today. That's awesome to see.
Yeah, I mean, so
McLovin grind worked.
So I think let me get. I mean, he probably I like McLovin. He's done a great job as captain. I mean, I'll move here because we were going to talk about it because it's the only match that we know of, and we're not going to sit on here all night. I will post. I'll post individual singles odds when they come out. So what do we think? Finley, the force of nature known as Jason Finley, versus Captain McLovin tomorrow. Finley is going to lay 1 on the die course. And he's going to start off on 1 because that's what he does. He's going to play with Al because that's what you get to do. Kev, what do you think? I'll give my thoughts at the end on this one, but what do you think?
Man, it's a tough one. Here's the thing. For some reason, I feel like if anybody's going to beat Finley, McLovin can do it. For me, it's kind of a coin toss. I think it's going to be close. I really do. I think it'll be kind of a back and forth match.
You got a pick? You gonna make a pick?
I have to go with Finley just because of
History.
I mean it's Finley, you know. And I've seen him. He did it to me. He stuck it in me at the end of a match, and I think it's going to be a good one. But I think maybe a 1-up win. I think it's going to be really close, and it would not surprise me one bit if McLovin won. I mean, I seriously, I could go either way, but being forced to choose, I'll go Finley just because of his experience. But I could see McLovin doing it. Cinderella story.
Well, I mean, look, McLovin was 0-2 today. So he's still trying to find a pulse here. And there's 3 things guaranteed in life: death, taxes, and Finley. Give me Finley. 4-3.
Okay, I like that. Oh man. I think that if Finley were to get beat, I do agree with Kev that it may be someone with sort of McLovin's skill set. But I mean, he's not. I mean, it's freaking Jason Finley. On the dark horse, man. It's a DAC. Like I told the story last night. Jay Luke can attest to it. I almost chip in for par on one, and then he sees this and he buries a 25-footer from the fringe. Never had a doubt. Center cup for birdie, and I'm 1 down. And at that moment, I was like, I'm not going to beat this guy. Like I would have needed something. I would have needed something with a 7 in front of it to beat him, and that is no lie. He is a force of nature. Someone said on the forum today that he didn't play well at the THP championship. Dude, it doesn't matter how he plays. That's what got me into this mess to begin with. He played like shit at the hype event.
The pairings are up. The pairings are up.
Oh, they're up. They're up. Okay, we come back. Hold on. We'll come back. Stay with us. The cult of 5 is held in. Hope they're having fun. It'll be on the hard. JB Cobb, will be on the hardest hole. It would be the 1 handicap on the dark horse. We have pairings.
Well, it looks like Sizzle's part of his post.
Okay, so we're gonna break down. We're gonna back up. Sort of stalled. We're gonna go back to this. So Ethan goes out against B-Dolls. That is an 8 versus 16. So
Ethan's laying 8.
He's gonna lay 8.
Did you see Ethan's post? These aren't in any particular order.
Okay, so this is just
the actual pairings, not in any particular order.
Okay, all right. So then Tony goes out against Beaker 4. Okay, so so Tony, the scratch, he's gonna lay 4 there. Tony's gonna lay 4 to Beaker.
Luke versus
Snickers.
They're calling Snickerdoodle on the ship show.
Okay, so Luke's laying 3 there.
And then you got Browning versus Clark Griswold.
11, 20. I mean, Clark's getting 11. 11 versus 22. Okay. All right. That's fine.
Lex versus Tomcat. I see that on there.
I saw the Lex. I like
I'm pumped for that one, man.
I'm going in the order. So Ian goes up against Radman Mike R. Actually, we're gonna lay there. Yeah. Radman's gonna lay 3.
Wow.
3 there. Pete is an 11. Pete goes out against
JMB
3. So yeah, we're gonna get 9 there. Finley McLovin, we've talked about that match. Finley's laying 1. Mm-hmm. And Cobb, it's on the hardest handicap hole in the course. So like Gaylord Springs gonna be on 5. Lexi versus Tomcat. I like that. And she's laying 13. Come on.
Let
That's
me
gonna be
tell you,
great.
Tomcat, man, he can golf his ball when he gets it going.
Right. Come
I'm all
on.
for it.
Get off me. Okay, Jeff goes out against Sizzle in a key match.
They talked about that on the ship show. They wanted that pairing, so that's good.
So now,
Yeah.
Sizzle's already 2 down. Don't forget that.
so Sizzle's laying 1. So that's a pretty straight up even. Tyler against No Shanks. This may be the one that you want to tune in for. Grab your popcorn. Mr. Musclebacks going against a guy that can hit it a country mile.
They're still waiting for a ball to land of his today.
Right. So yeah, we are laying 1 in that match. We're going to lay 1 there.
Slinger Big Sky. That's going to be a good one.
Oh, that is going to be a good one, man.
And then the guy that Dax almost killed will play my man Jordan.
Yeah, I almost killed Dinez on a hosel rocket off of a utility 4-iron best ball. And he's going to play Jordan. Jordan's getting 5 there.
I like Jordan.
I like him. I think we got a chance.
I like these.
I mean, as I read it out, there was only like, hold on. Oh yeah. With when Finley buried that putt on me on 1, there was absolutely nothing. It wasn't like, hey, look at I just snaked in or laughing or nothing. He just went, got his ball, turned around, marched back to the cart.
D-Nevs, but you got to look at D-Nevs too. D-Nevs, he hasn't done great. He only had half a point today. Last year, he got lit up by Philly numbers in our crew.
I mean,
he's got some probably got some things on his mind. He wants to get some points going here.
I mean, as I read through these pairings, and I'm not going to name which ones they were, there was only 2 matches that I'm like, we have no chance.
I'm excited to watch the.
We're a live dog, is what you're saying.
We are a live dog tomorrow, no doubt in my mind. Don't try to guess the 2. Like when I just read through them, looked them over. Of course, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna post some odds here. Later on, there's only 2 matches, and I'm not gonna lie. One of them is because I just don't see Finley losing in his natural habitat. I'll go back to the story. Someone talked about Finley not playing well with AJ at the THP championship, and I warned them that does not matter. This is how it got me into this mess to begin with. He played like shit at hype. He shot like a 92. Mike's sitting there going, you could beat him. You shot an 83 today. And I call him out, and then I get the shit, my teeth kicked in. Wasn't even my idea. It wasn't even my idea. Will you state to the entire THP universe whose idea it was to call him out?
It was mine.
Okay, thank you. But
hey, I'll volunteer to be next year's captain and play him for you.
Okay, that's fine. I'd love to go back as the assistant captain to have a front row seat to that ass whipping.
Well, here's the thing: is if you were the ass cap and I was playing Finley, I almost think you'd be rooting against me, even though I'm on your team.
Look, I'm just, I saw it.
Right. Look, you want me to get beat worse than you did, so you can find.
It's hard to get beat worse than I did. My match ended on the 12th hole, Mike.
Well, you did tell him that you wanted to play him for at least 12 holes, and your wish.
But I'll tell you what. After that, me and Al and Finley had a blast because he turned the game face off, and as J. Lou, the problem was J. Lou was still in the match.
I'm excited to watch this.
No, it doesn't, Bruce. It doesn't matter. I'm going to answer some of these questions now. No, it doesn't matter. The only thing that could matter there is if her handicap gets adjusted due to the yardage. So sometimes you have what they call a course adjusted handicap. So I'm assuming that she's playing at 20 and she's playing from the women's tees. I don't think it matters. She's gonna lay the boatload to my man Tomcat, right? Well, let me finish my story there. Someone on the forums, I don't know who it was. They obviously haven't been around that long, and I'm like, hey, it doesn't matter what he played like. He is an apex predator, and his habitat is the hot. calling them out. I like that, dude. That there's a couple matches on here. I'm almost sad that I have to work tomorrow. Like I did not do shit today. Okay, I literally had scheduled like training for this very purpose, so I could sit and toggle from this WebEx that I was on most of the day to the live scorecard in the forum because I wanted to watch this go down. I'm not going to be able to do that tomorrow. My boss is in town. So all I'm going to be able to do is like pull up the Google Sheets on my phone and like check to see what's happening. And then I'll get caught up when I get home. I'm going to write down what post number I was on and try to figure that out. But there are several of these matches that I adore tomorrow that if I could have like played hooky from work, that's one of them. The Jeff Sizzle match, the Big Sky match. I kind of really want to see that one. My man No Shanks against Tyler is another match that I want to see. Those last three matches, I don't know if that's the order they're going to go out in. Of course, I want to see the Finley McLovin match because Texas Hacker's been back on the form and we can get like a group, support group together. And if McLovin also becomes a victim, so that's going to be good.
Mike,
yeah.
which ones are you looking at that you like? You want to follow along with?
Yeah.
So Josh, if that's what it takes to get me to the hideaway, then I'll do it.
Got to win contest, bro. Come on. Get creative.
Mike, which pairings do you like? Which ones are you looking forward to following tomorrow?
Me? The obviously Jordan. My THP buddy Jordan. That's a big one. Let me pull him back up here real quick on my phone. McLovin Finley, obviously that's a good one I want to follow. Big Sky Irish, I want to see how he plays. Had a solid day today, and then the Lex Tomcat match. Probably the few that I'm looking forward to the most.
That Lex Tomcat match could go down really very, very similar to that Buck. Remember that last year at Morgan Cup, that Buck Nasty and somebody else match that was just like there was pop. They were both high cappers. They were pops everywhere, and it was just a great sort of follow back and forth. There's a lot of good matches on this card. Like if you're going to treat it like a wrestling card, I'm fired up for it. See what happens tomorrow.
Jordan called his match today the Tickle Fest. Like a tickle match.
Tickle match or whatever. So there's a lot to like about these pairings, and I think it gives us a chance. So let's close the show with our predictions. I will go last.
Kev, I'll let you kick it off.
I'm going bold. I like them. I'm saying Team THP is coming back.
All right.
I think we've got some things in our favor. I think the boys have some momentum going. I think they've got this. I think they can do it.
I do not share Kev's same sentiments there. They only need 4 points, and that's a tough task. I'm going with the Zoo Crew here, even though I picked Team THP last night. After today, I got to go with the Zoo Crew.
Man,
part of it's going to depend on how they go out too.
Yeah, right. You're right. I don't know. We don't know the exact order that they're going to go out in. That troubles me. Everything has to go in THP's way. They're going to have to make putts. I'm not saying that it's out of the realm of possibility. I'm saying it is a very tall task, and I'd be pleasantly surprised if they were able to do it. I just don't know if they're going to be able to. I think the hole may be too, I think it's just too big of a hole. I think if we were sitting here at 7-5, literally after seeing these pairings, I really wish this thing would have got to 7-5, man. Because if it would have got to 7-5, then I could have probably sat here with a little bit of confidence and say, yeah, man, I think they can make a run. We just need 7 and a hook, right?
Yeah. 8 and a hook is a tall path.
8 and a hook is a way different deal. I know it sounds like it was only 1 point, Dax. It's huge. It is huge in this type of scenario. The difference between 7.5 and 8.5 is huge. I'm going to pick the Zoo Crew. Death Taxes and Finley. Finley, my pick in that match is that Finley wins 4-3.
I think tomorrow morning could be a different answer for us too if we see the condition everybody's in. If everybody's laying on the couch,
yeah, I mean, a lot of this. I mean, look, a lot of this goes to that. Now, before we close this down, let me make sure I get everybody's comment. Okay, Zoo Crew +4, I like it. They have to be perfect and lucky. Yeah, absolutely.
It has to be average.
It has to be average. That's correct. Before we close up, though, I want to go back to something that Kevin and I both stated. If the team happens to watch this, they probably won't. Regardless of what happens tomorrow, y'all did the awesome job of representing the community. The Grandaddy is coming back, and the Grandaddy is always one team away from extinction, right? And like I said last night, there's only 80 some odd people that know what it's like to walk through them gates, the hideaway. Okay, I happen to be one of them. Kev happens to be one of them. Mike's not one of them, but guess what? There's 12 more chances for Mr. Illiterate to get to maybe have his number and his teeth kicked in all over paradise too. Okay. But don't forget that y'all did y'all's job. Regardless if y'all win this belt or not, the job has been done. The Grandaddy is engendered. It returns. And that's the most important thing. So I want to say hats off to McLovin. Hats off to Captain Mike G. Hats off to this team that represented our community well enough to where this event that is so special to so many people for so many different reasons is coming back.
Yep. 100% agree.
I sent a message to Mike and McLovin this morning that I basically the same thing. Hey, these guys have made us proud. They've made THP proud. Some weird banter for a while there, but still, they've made us proud.
Milk related
after being down, and I mean that just adds to it. So I completely agree. Just go have fun, guys. Yeah, you've done your job, win or lose.
So that's going to be it. Anything else from the crowd before we cut it loose? Any from the Cult of Five that has followed us this entire journey? Anything else? Oh, we have a comment.
I totally agree. Team THP 19 doing a great job.
Yes, they're absolutely doing a great job. Maybe at some point they'll sit back as they travel back. That's a long day, man. And what they don't understand, that you don't understand, is that at some point tomorrow, this post Grandaddy blues is going to hit them.
That bus ride back, man. Oh.
The bus ride back, as great as the bus ride there is, the bus ride back is equally depressing.
Yeah, your journey's coming to an end, and you're exhausted for one. Because you're literally, and I think McLovin made comment about this, you're running the entire time. There's not free time. You're going, but in the best way possible. Right. And so you're exhausted. You're bummed that it's coming to an end. I remember hitting my final putt on 18 and just, I got emotional because I did not want to attend and it was coming to an end. So yeah, that bus ride is rough on the way back, man.
Yeah, they don't even know what's about to hit them from that. But my final thought is, no matter what happens tomorrow, they did their job, and they can hold their heads up high. For Kev, for Illiterate, this is J-Dax, and we are out.
Later, guys.
Good luck, Team THP.